The motto for world-class competition has always been faster, higher, stronger. It's the same for Navien, makers of condensing tankless water heaters. Faster to install and set up. Higher performance and efficiency to provide endless hot water. Stronger with the industry's strongest warranty. All because of the copper-free stainless steel heat exchanger built in every unit. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com. That's tanklessmadesimple.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. All right. Let's just test your knowledge, see what you guys might think. The sexiest and least sexy American accents. New
York.
There's 7 that have been identified. You think New York is the least sexy?
No, sexiest.
You're close. I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I don't know what these people are thinking.
Although a female with a thick New York accent sometimes, well, it's so subjective. I'm sure there's people out there that find it very unattractive, but I like that. Like, it just has that, gets me going, man. You know,
it's interesting because you are from there, and I can understand that. I can understand why you would like it. I sometimes think it's, I'm attracted to accents that I don't hear a lot. That's what usually gets me going.
Okay.
But it's never been a New York accent. I've never, it depends.
Well, you're a Boston person. New York accents, like that's. It
could be the hatred.
That's sacrilege right there.
That's absolutely right. It could be the hatred. But yeah, New York is the second sexiest accent voted by this survey done at hostels in different European countries. So they asked the Europeans what they thought of American accents. And New York is, for them, the second sexiest.
I would think Californian, because I've gone and talked to people from other countries. I'm
hang loose bra?
Yeah, I asked them, can you do an American accent? And that is the one they always do.
So is it like the Southern Californian, Valley guy, Valley girl?
Yeah, totally tubular, dude.
Yeah, and that actually is number 4, Vicky.
Oh.
Number 4 on the list.
Chris texted and said, nothing pulls the chicks in like a hard Boston accent.
Ugh. Well, I will tell you, it is hard, and unfortunately, it's number 3.
That's a wicked pisser that it made the top 5.
Yeah, it did make the top 5, and let me tell you something right now.
I can't even do a New York accent anymore.
That is odd.
I can't do accents.
But if you get around your family, you should be able to, because your mother and father got it thick.
No, they don't. What are you talking about?
Happy birthday to you.
Hi, Stephen. It's Mommy. How you doing there?
How you doing there?
There's snow here. It's halfway up my sliding doors. It's unbelievable.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Not at all.
There's no New York accent. They just sound American.
With New York, it's, hey, how you doing? And with Boston, it's, hey, how are you? It's kind of funny. Those are the standard greetings.
How you doing there?
Yeah, how you doing there? Hey, how are you?
I don't know where there is, but how are you doing there?
Doing okay over there.
I can't take Boston accent seriously because I just think of Peter Griffin.
Yeah,
from Family Guy. It's
hey. Yeah,
I think of Marky Mark.
Yeah, that's
yeah, because a lot of people don't know, but that's
my Thunder Buddy.
Yeah, that's where Seth MacFarlane grew up. Was Massachusetts. So, number 4 is Southern California. Number 3 is Boston. Number 2 is New York. Anybody want to take a shot at number 1?
You don't mess with Texas.
Yeah. Oh, boys.
Give me some of that barbecue.
No doubt about it.
Is that number 1?
It's not number 1, but it's one considered sexy, but it's number 5, and Texas ain't happy about that.
I know. Hawaiian,
not on the list.
Really?
Yeah, not on the list.
I love that Hawaiian,
Okay, don't grab yourself there when you're telling me this. Can you please? I get that you really
Mahalo.
Like it. Yeah,
stop grabbing those pineapples, buddy.
Yeah, seriously.
Some of that Loco Moco?
Yeah. See, I don't consider that an American accent.
But it's in Hawaii. It's America.
But see, I think that's a Polynesian and whatever else they got going on over there, and then America just basically bought the place. I guess we always bought the place, really. But for some reason, since it's a newer state, I feel like those accents were from some other place.
I know what's number 1. It's like, yeah, you betcha.
Minnesota is considered the least sexiest
It's so
accent.
funny. It's such a good accent.
How about just Southern in general? Maybe not Texas, but
You are a winner, Danny.
How about that?
yeah.
Somebody even said the Southern Belle accent.
Yeah.
I'm in love.
If you,
my, would you like some apple pie with that?
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. Would you like some sweet tea?
Yeah, you're kind of getting there, Vicky. You're
Little
kind of
bit.
close. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about the Chicago accent? Somebody just said, Ditka.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Bears.
Yeah, that
The
Midwestern
Bears.
accent. Yeah.
Yes.
And that goes all the way from Chicago to Rochester, New York, and Buffalo. They all have a version of that accent.
You know, honestly, if it's a hot chick talking, whatever accent she has is hot in my opinion.
There you go.
I agree.
I don't know any accents that I've heard. If someone I find attractive and they're talking whatever accent that they have, I'm like, that's a hot accent because the chick is hot.
Fran Drescher,
I was about to
man.
say the Fran Drescher
Oh, that
accent.
nasally talk.
Oh, her giggle made me wiggle in my pants.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
you know what? And that's a New York accent. You're right. I forgot about Fran the nanny. You're right. I'm trying to think of a good
Didn't
Boston.
even know who the nanny is.
kind of, yeah.
All
It
right.
used to be on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
I used to stay up watching it.
Yeah, here's the thing that will really throw you how old you are with the nanny is the little girl in the nanny was naked all over Californication. And also in the latest episode in the latest season of Twin Peaks, Natalie Zima. Well, I remember watching that show with my wife and then I'm like, why does this naked woman look familiar? And then I go look her up and I go, oh no, it's the little girl. I'm going to jail.
Text are coming. Vicky, keep up that southern accent, please, from Shannon Chehalis. Next person, oh snap, Vicky, how am I supposed to work with this third leg sticking out? Vicky, I'd marry you.
Wow. So there's your 7. Southern New York, Boston, Southern California, Texas, Midwestern, and Minnesota. That's what Europeans think. I, of course, still love a British accent.
One person says, I'm with Steve. The girls of the Guys We Blanked podcast have New York accents and they're sexy. That actually is a pretty funny podcast. There's a couple of chicks that have a podcast called Guys We Effed.
Oh, see, I haven't heard
And they
them.
just talk about dudes they banged.
Oh, really?
And sometimes they even get those guys to talk to them and
That's actually
Larry
something.
ensues.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to hear a sample of those girls. I haven't heard them, so I don't know how sexy they sound.
plus they're naughty and they just have sex with people. So that makes
So
sense.
that's probably why you like the podcast. Really, look at Steve. You know, it's like you're 12 again when you're hearing this. When you're telling me these stories, the look on your face. It's like I could see 13-year-old Stevie getting his first Hustler. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Okay. Wow. Look at that face.
I can picture the cover right now.
Wow. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
God, okay, don't look at me like that. I mean, really don't need to see the vinegar strokes. It's
Steve,
good.
what did you have again for dinner last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. Asian stuff.
Yeah. And he knows the first Hustler cover.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Some stuff with some vegetables and
Do you remember your wedding
Sriracha.
song? I hope you remember your wedding song.
yeah, Mother Love Bone, baby.
Okay, good. As long as you
Gentle
remember.
Groove.
Okay, good. That's pretty good. So you got to pick a song you wanted.
Well, what we wanted. Both of us love that song.
Yeah, but there's no way I think that had your input.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had
You
no
betcha.
input. Yeah. I had no input in my wedding song.
What was
It all
yours?
Catholic. It was, I think, a Whitney Houston, Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh, my gosh.
I Will Always Love You, or no, Hold Me.
See, we had a lot of Seattle music for ours. We had the music of Brad was especially prevalent on, and that features
Yeah.
Stone Gossard from Pearl Jam, and it's his other band, and they're incredible.
It is amazing you got to pick that kind of music and your wife went along with that. I was impressed.
Yeah, and I remember I finally met Sean Smith, the frontman for Brad, and I had a couple drinks in me and probably just kind of fanboyed on him
Hey,
in the
baby.
backstage. I'm like, you were the soundtrack to my wedding, man. It's so cool to meet you. And he just kind of looks at me and goes, right on, man, cool.
Yeah, cool.
I'm like, I'll stop fanboying. And he just started laughing at that point. I'm like, all right, I'm done fanboying. I'll go back to not talking to you. He just started laughing.
I know. It always sucks when you're drunk and you meet people.
It was super nice, but I came off probably rather aggressive.
I try, when you're drunk and you meet people and you want to make a good impression, usually when you do meet somebody like that, you never can.
Oh, I even preface it by saying, I'm going to sound like a tool right now, but I need to tell you something.
Yeah,
I don't know why
that's-
all of a sudden I've got a southern accent. Well,
Yeah, well, it's a sexy accent. You wanted him to think that you were awesome.
I might have locked this backstage door right now, and you're not going anywhere, Sean.
Okay, now you get the Billy Bob Thornton accent. I'm going to give you my French fried potato. That's what I'm going to give you. Going to give you my biscuit. Here's a lovely story about a guy who was busted on He was busted for shoplifting, but I think we should let him go. Why? Because it was on his bucket list. And hey, it's on his bucket list. Let him off.
Is it a chick thing mainly? I don't know if Sarah could also chime maybe in on this. Is there something exciting about being a kleptomaniac? The old Winona Ryder thing. But I recently was watching a TV show.
Winona Ryder. What, all of a sudden you're Southern? I think it's Winona. Oh, Winona Ryder.
And then Winona's got a big brown beard.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Anyhow.
But I know I was watching some TV show where a chick on the show also was talking about stealing, shoplifting, because there was just an adrenaline rush of not only potentially getting caught, but also getting caught.
That's what they said.
And I don't think many dudes have that thrill. Maybe this guy does. It sounds like in his story. But is that like a female thing that you just want to steal stuff from a store?
Like, I never wanted to get caught, because I used to steal a lot back when I was in high school.
Okay, yeah, just keep the stereotype going, Vicky.
I know, right?
Jesus.
Well, I figured, my buddy put it to me this very simple way. He's like, I believe that I deserve nice things, and I believe my friends deserve nice things. So I believe I should be able to get these nice things, however means necessary. And so for some reason, my 16-year-old brain's like, I like that. So I just started stealing whatever I wanted. And it became a game, like trying to figure out how to, like almost like a puzzle. It's like, okay, if the people are here, the cameras are here, the signs are here, how can I like get the little tag off in this amount of time and this and that? So it was that.
So it doesn't really fit that same bill.
It was the adrenaline rush was when I got home, and I'm like, oh my God, look at all the stuff I got. But I never wanted to get caught.
Because you didn't have the money to get what you wanted, whereas like Winona and people like that do.
Right. Now, what about your daughter there, BJ?
Oh, hey.
Oh, Sarah.
I absolutely hate getting in trouble. I hate it. So getting caught.
What about going into a bathroom at a sporting place?
Okay, okay, something that's not like I couldn't get arrested for it.
Well, you kind of could.
Could you really?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Really?
If they catch you and there's kids nearby, you can go to jail for bad stuff,
There's
Sarah.
a great Mercer Island education right there for you.
You can also go to jail for not using condoms.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Oh, okay. She's a little smarter than I thought.
Don't trick me on that one.
All right.
Wait, you can really like go to jail if you have sex in a bathroom?
Yeah. Public indecency.
Yeah.
But you're not really.
You
like
are
in a closed. Wow, I'm more badass than I thought I was.
How about that? It's time for you to start stealing stuff, Sarah.
I guess so.
No, you're a hardened
criminal.
Don't listen to Steve. Don't steal things.
I really never knew that was illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, now I might have to rethink some things.
Yeah.
Now I'm like getting nervous thinking about. Like,
Good. If that'll stop you from having sex in public with Johnny Rubbers, that's fine.
Except I will say, like, if I was to ever get arrested for something, it would be something stupid like streaking. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a stupid way to get arrested, but at least you're kind of a badass.
I could see that being you. You're always like.
But I never shoplifted.
How about that? You should be proud.
If I found that
but
out,
she didn't take after me because I shoplifted.
Oh, so you were a shoplifter.
Oh, I was a huge
So maybe
shoplifter.
it's not a female-only thing. Maybe it's just
no, the way you're talking about it, though, when you don't need to and you do it, that I think might be a female-only thing. I don't know dudes that steal that don't have to. I stole because, like Vicky, I wanted the items and I didn't have the money to pay for them. But Winona, what you're talking about is completely different. They don't need to do it, but they do it anyway.
Well, one texter is a guy. He says, I was a big kleptomaniac up until my mid-20s. I did it just because. No excitement from it except for the adrenaline of almost getting caught.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
I had a friend like that who was a dude who would like go into Nordstrom.
Okay, so it's definitely not just a female.
Maybe it isn't. All right.
Another person even said, my parents were rich growing up and I could get whatever. Stealing was about the thrill, not a girl thing.
Okay. We've figured it out. With the 5 different examples, we don't even need to do a survey at this point. We're done.
We've summed up America.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. According to a new study, people who own dogs tend to be perceived by others as more attractive.
That's right.
Happier. Caring.
You know it.
Approachable and empathetic. I agree with part of that. I think people who own dogs are pathetic. I agree with that.
They didn't say pathetic, man. I'm on to you. Empathetic.
All right. Yeah. I love this. Single men in particular are thought to be more caring and selfless if they have a pet. Of course they do, which I think is completely shallow on the evaluator's part.
Why?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anecdotally, I've known women who have said to me and my wife, how can you trust a man who doesn't like dogs? And my wife has been asked that many times.
And they're right.
And I'm like, maybe it's because I really like humans over dogs, and I don't know how I can trust a human that likes a dog over a human.
Name one human you like.
I actually do dig humans. I mean, I work with you guys, right? I hang here. I'm really nice
to tolerate humans if we're basing it on that.
Yeah, when I'm not in this room having to deal with you idiots. I really like people.
We are humans. You're calling us idiots.
Yeah, I mean, look, you are humans, and you're human idiots.
See,
yes.
No, I'd rather. I'm not going to want to rub a belly of a human, but I sure as hell loving.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say it because you'll flag it.
Yes, we will.
But you know what I mean.
Here's another shallow, and again, I talk about the fact that, look, I understand, as a guy, and I can only come from my perspective, I've been accused, and my gender has been accused of being shallow, but look at this particular stat they got from this thing.
Okay, I'm curious.
That says women, when they see that men, when they see single men with dogs, they read that as a signal that these men will make a good parent as well as a partner. So basically, we're just being evaluated for their needs and their wants. Again, I think it's shallow, and I think it's also
Why is it
stupid.
shallow? It gives you an idea of what kind of person that is.
And if I evaluate a woman for whatever I want that's for my needs, why am I a bad guy?
Well, you're evaluating them for different reasons. You're evaluating them for, banging, which is fine. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But we're allowed to evaluate if a person seems to be a good human being or not.
See, I think that's shallow because you just want someone who will take care of you and be good when you have your kids, which we put a label on that's literally an altruistic thing. But I think, look, it's pleasurable for a lot of people to have a family and have somebody be there for them and for all their problems. And,
But why is it shallow? Why isn't that just an attribute that somebody wants in their life? It's not like that someone's like, I see a dog and that means that they're rich and I want to be with them for their money. Like, I can understand you saying if someone wants to be with someone for their money, that's shallow. But you're saying that if someone wants to be with someone because they see how they are with their dog and it shows that they're loving and caring and all that good stuff, that makes them shallow. That just means that that's someone that you would mesh well with.
Yeah, see, I look at it like when you're looking for someone that's a good parent and a good partner, it's not about, hey, you're sizing them up for your pleasurable needs. It just
you're sizing them up to see if they'd be good in a relationship with you.
Yeah, I think that.
What are we supposed to be in a relationship with? I'm curious then, what are we supposed to be in a relationship for?
I don't, here's my
thing.
thing.
Be miserable? Is that what the goal is?
My thinking is I don't need anybody. If I can be at the top of my game therapeutically in my brain, somebody can add to my relationship, but I don't need them for anything. And I feel like there are people out there that really want their needs fulfilled with a partner, and it's just that men sometimes have different needs than women, and those needs are judged differently. That's my point, and I think all of those needs are shallow. Not just the I want someone based because they're physical and I'll have a great physical relationship with them. That's considered shallow. But you want me to be a good parent? In other words, will I provide and so you can have kids? I find that to be shallow.
I think he just doesn't like dogs, and this is his way of.
I hate dogs. We know that. I hate dogs. One relationship expert says having a dog really says something about you. It says you can care for a creature.
That's right.
That you can follow a schedule and get home to feed it, and then you can walk it and love it and spend time with it. You see, for the people that don't want to have kids, it's like, what do they do? Because if that's how they're being evaluated, it's like, I don't even want you to think of me as a parent. Can't you? I don't want that to be part of my life.
But not everyone's thinking like that. These are the certain people that are looking for that in their life, and that's what they're using it for. I don't understand why that's so difficult.
Well, they're saying, at least in this study, that women may read this, and I'm just wondering if that's the majority of the people in the study, and can we take a look at that? And is that the majority of women on the planet?
One texter says, I fail to understand BJ's idiot logic.
Well, I think it's shallow.
Another person says, BJ, it's clear that you don't know what shallow means. Another person, evaluating people to see if they're caring and have a future with them is the exact opposite of shallow, BJ. You're actually looking for a deep connection.
Yeah, see, I think you're confusing deep connection with somebody who will take care of your kids.
As much as I like BJ, he always digs himself into holes every day. That's why I keep listening. Keep digging, BJ.
I don't think it's a hole. I think there's a lot of dudes.
It's a crater at this point.
I think there are dudes that agree with me.
Of course there's going to be people who agree with you. There's people who don't like dogs.
It's not it's not even the dog thing. This is just about, I've sort of used this dog thing as a way to say that women judge men for their own needs, and it has nothing to do whether or not if they really want to.
We all judge each other for our needs.
I agree, and I think that's shallow.
It's not shallow.
Shallow means
totally
superficial.
Shallow. Yeah,
lacking depth.
It is superficial.
Superficial is what's on the surface.
Yeah, and if you want me just to be a parent and I can take care of you and take care of whatever
all
creature
they want,
they
want to make sure that you have that and you're capable of that in addition to being someone they want to be in a relationship. I don't understand how that's so hard to understand.
And if I want a chick who's hot and will have sex with me, I think that's also, it's not all I want.
That's fine.
That's totally fine to want that.
Yeah, but not everybody thinks that. They think that that's shallow. That's what I'm saying.
Who's they? Who are these people that you're talking about? Because I'm looking at all the texts, I'm looking at this room, and nobody's saying that you shouldn't want to be with someone that you're attracted to and that you want to have sex with. I think that's important in a relationship. In fact, many people say sex is an important, including, I remember sitting with our pastor before we got married, and he brought that up. Like, sex is an important part of your relationship. There's nothing shallow about that. Nothing about this is shallow.
Well, I'm saying, if you obviously have not heard about the objectification of women. If you look at a woman as an object of sex at all, even though you love her and even though you're willing to do all the other stuff, I was told, maybe it's my generation, that you can't objectify
totally
women in any way.
I can understand that. That's totally your generation. Now, I think we've changed and we've moved on from that. But it's a whole new generation where people are saying it's fine if I'm in a relationship and you want to have sex with me. I mean,
I want the person I'm with to find me attractive, to like crave being with me physically.
You know, and I'm happy to hear that, Vicky. I really, really am. I think it's my peer group of women who I still, basically, as I'm around them.
Your wife's friends.
It's okay. They're all 90 years old like you. They're going to die off soon. It's fine.
Well, it would be great. But, you guys have been to conventions with us where we've heard women my age speak as if they're speaking for all women, and I still have to listen to those people because they're my peer group.
But then you're now saying that they are speaking for all women with the opinion that you have. And I think we all can agree that they aren't speaking for all
I hope
women.
that's true. I really do.
From based on our texters, based on Vicky, based on the women we've had on our show and talked to, the people that we've met, it's not everyone's this crusty, old, angry woman that you continue to lump all women as.
I'm happy to hear that. I will say that.
You don't look very happy to hear that.
Well, I am.
Very sad.
I am because I think
he's wrong.
Well, because no, it's not that I'm wrong. It's just these women are still in power. And Vicky, you've run into that. I mean, at the convention, you ran into that. That mindset is still out there.
And it's, you know what? It's our job to freaking take it by the horns, and we're going to bring it down and do something awesome.
And I'm just calling attention to the fact that it's just the same. And you guys actually said the same thing I am. So actually, we kind of agree on this, if you can believe that.
No, I don't agree with you on anything that you said.
No. I think we came to an agreement that you're saying that what I'm saying, looking for a person that will give you, satisfy your needs, take care of things, is like looking for someone who you find attractive, want to have sex with, and you guys thought it was the same thing. You don't think it's shallow, either one of them. I can agree on that. As long as we agree it's the same, I can agree on that.
Most importantly is this text, and I agree with this person. I went on a dry spell for a while. I took my brother's English bulldog to the groomers. I got laid 2 hours later, all thanks to that little whore dog.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dude, back in the day when I was single, I would... talking to chicks, I'd be like, hey, if they had a dog, I'd be like, hey, why don't we go meet up at the dog park? And we would hang out at the dog park with our dogs, and it would always lead to fun stuff.
I know.
It's the ultimate aphrodisiac.
I get it.
Not for everyone, of course.
Yeah, I have my own personal opinions about women and how they are about dogs. I do. I don't even want to be with those women.
Well, they don't want to be with you, so it works out well.
Yeah. Well, my wife is a dog person, and I sometimes tell her, I go, you know what, you irritate me. Don't talk to me about this.
You kind of look like your old dog. It was kind of had a few little hairs here and there, had funny looking skin, weird eyes. So maybe that's why she loves you.
That might be the nicest thing Vicky's ever said about you.
That's lovely. Yeah. They do say that the animals, the pets look like their owners. It's very possible.
I wish I looked like Lulu. I have hair.
Well, is your hair getting white?
It is getting white on my chest.
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't need to know about your chest hair.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. Because it really isn't the top things that I want to learn today. How about that? There are other things I'd like to learn. That's not on the list. I got another study. Are you ready for this? All right, here we go. This was a study done by the good folks at the London School of Economics. Hello, would you like some money? That's what they say there. Because it's the London School of Economics, Steve.
I got you. I appreciate you spelling it out for the simpleton that is me.
I didn't know if you got it.
No, it went over my head. Luckily, thanks to you, I caught it, absorbed it,
down.
And loved it.
Nice. Now, according to these folks over there, they said that when someone moves back home... Oh, I love this story. Vicky. When someone moves back home, it causes a significant drop in the quality of their parents' life and well-being. Yes.
Poor Vicky.
Now all of a sudden... Didn't your daughter move back in, too, with you?
Oh, I'm not saying she's any more less guilty than you are.
I feel like she never technically left. She went to a school. Yeah, that doesn't count.
It doesn't. She didn't leave, but
that's not 100% split.
Still, I will say this. Her being there definitely cramps my style.
You have style?
What is your style?
I have a style of living that I just like to live, and sometimes when her and Johnny Rubbers are hanging out, I can't live my style.
Yeah, you can't wander around naked or anything like that.
What do you watch? Do you watch Doctor Who naked?
You don't know what I do with my TARDIS.
Touching your sonic screwdriver?
That's right, baby.
Gross.
In fact, the negative effect is just as strong as if they developed, quote, an age-related disability. Ooh. You have become a disability to your parents, Vicky. Yeah.
Hey, they asked for it, man.
That's what they think.
They're the ones that legit gave me the idea, like, move back in.
What's been the best part about living back at home with your parents right now?
It's just like the communal feeling. Like, my parents are super thoughtful. Like, if I come home late, my dad will stay up late with me and have dinner with me. Even though they already ate dinner, they'll sit at the table with me and have dinner.
So he gets to have a second dinner?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, you want to live with me?
You're like, save up this
come
time
home
for
late
dinner.
all you want.
Not bring snacks. I bring cookies.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. See,
I think that's incredible. Your dad is a genius. He's getting 2 dinners.
Yeah.
And we'll watch TV. It's great.
You should never leave. If I was if I'm your dad, I'd be like, you never leave the house. I'm getting 2 dinners. Granted, you might be 600 pounds by the time you finally buy a home, but boy, will he be happy.
Wow, I can't wait for the kids to be gone. I mean, I love them and everything, but not like that.
Yeah?
I want to have my own life back.
But you could have 2 dinners.
Yeah, 2. I'm trying to. You know what, Steve? I can have 2 dinners if I want, whether the kids are there or not, because it will be my house. I'll do whatever I want in there.
I think it's different in culture, because when I went to Mexico, I got to see where my parents grew up. They lived like a block away, and between each house, they're like, "Oh yeah, your aunt lived here, your uncle lived here." Everyone lived within walking distance of each other. We're very much a community kind of filled environment. Like, we love having family nearby.
They're saying you guys got problems.
Well, this might be this is a British study. They haven't been to Mexico.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Listen,
when have these Brits gone to Mexico?
The British have gone everywhere and basically pissed everybody off. Believe me, they're well traveled.
No, see, the Spaniards came to us, so it's like they don't know Mexico.
I feel like that would be the same environment because when I went home to visit my parents, and my wife and I, we stayed at my parents' house. They got a new house in New Jersey, and so we're hanging out. We have dinner, a big dinner, because it's Italian family, and it was awesome. A few hours go by, my uncle comes over, and my aunt and their daughter, and all this stuff, and we're all hanging out, having a good time. My mom goes, "Hey, we should have something to snack on." And I'm thinking, that's a great idea. My wife's probably like, "Oh, great. I can't control my husband when he's with his parents. She can't put her foot down.
Food is love over there.
Because my mom will just shut that down."
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, she's going to grab out some maybe potato chips and some dip. My mom's on the phone ordering a frickin' pizza. We already had dinner. She ordered a giant pizza, 2 of them.
That's awesome.
What type?
Pepperoni, and then a meat lovers, which was funny because on half of it was meat lovers, the other half was vegan. She had just no cheese.
That's fantastic.
I'm like, why would you make the one that has the meat on one half be vegan on the other half? She's like, I want to make sure your wife has something. My wife's like, I'm not eating anything. It's too late at night. I don't eat at night. Like, I don't eat at midnight. And I'm just crushing pizzas in front of my wife, and she's like, this is awful. It was awesome.
That's great.
It was the best night ever.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
If your tank water heater's over 8 years old, you may be sitting on a ticking time bomb. It could start leaking without warning, causing far more damage than the loss of the heater itself. Consider replacing it with a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to leak, endless hot water for spa-like comfort, longer life, and backed by Navien's strong warranty. Before time runs out, visit tanklessmadesimple.com for the name of your Navien contractor.